So don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to try new things just because it's never been done before or just because somebody tells you no. Another story I want to share about this in terms of how much technology and communication can advance things. So we are, thankfully we have been able to create a few vaccines against the COVID-19 virus. And historically, it's quite interesting how far we've come. Many of you will have heard of the Spanish flu, which was a global pandemic that occurred a little more than 100 years ago. So what's interesting to read about that time is that in 1917 and 1918, when the Spanish flu was decimating populations, when it was killing people all over the world, we not only, as humans, we didn't know what was causing it. We didn't even know what viruses were. We didn't have a word for that. And in fact, the word influenza actually comes from an Italian word meaning influence. And why it was called that was, at the time, 100 years ago, one of the reasons given for people getting sick was maybe the moon and Mars and the other planets were not quite aligned correctly, and their influence was causing this illness. So this to me is just amazing. 100 years ago, that our thinking was so backwards. It was so not advanced compared to where we are now. And in comparison, when COVID-19 struck, within a month, we were able to sequence the whole genome. And within a year, we've been able to invent vaccines, create vaccines to combat against it. So again, it's remarkable how much we can do when we're willing to try and we're willing to work together. My third point, as far as lessons learned, is that don't let small problems distract you from big problems. I think at any moment you might be nervous about your next exam, or that you haven't, done the dishes, or small things. So I was thinking back to 1 year ago today. And 1 year ago today, I was in Washington, D.C. studying Russian in preparation for this assignment. And I remember I was learning the instrumental case and just thinking, on stat diplomat, or on diplomat, on stal diplomatum, on vida diplomata. And I'm like, how am I going to get my mind around Russian grammar? It's just killing me. It's so hard. And that seemed like a big problem at the time. It's still very stressful. I struggle. But as I look back, I think, that was just a few weeks before the world changed. So as you encounter challenges, always remember to step back and think about the bigger picture, because our job is to deal with the small problems efficiently, but put our energy into the big problems, because the big problems are the ones that require coordination and focus and the sort of work that the United Nations, among other organizations, really focus on. So to conclude, there's an old American movie, A League of Their Own, one of my favorites from 20, 30 years ago. And there's a great line in it where someone is struggling and they say, I just can't do this anymore because it got too hard. And their friend stops them and says, of course it's hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it. The hard is why we do it. So as you tackle the problems that you're going to discuss today in the conference, and as you go forth in your careers, don't be afraid of big and difficult problems. We need your energy. We need your enthusiasm. We need your creativity to help solve these problems and to make the world a better place. So thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck today with the conference. Thanks.
Oh my God. Thank you very much for your speech and as well as for your advices. We accept them with gratitude. Now, ladies and gentlemen, shall we continue? We will continue by giving a floor on behalf of the rector of Kazakh Ablayhan University of International Relations and World Languages. We will give it to the vice rector on youth policy, Seryoshkina Tatiana Vladimirovna. Please, welcome.
Thank you very much. Can you see me and hear me? Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Yes, very well.
Of course.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry for my internet connection, but I'm here and I'm very ready to say something. Dear participants of the Model United Nations, on behalf of Director of Kazakh Ablayhan University of International Relations and World Languages, let me express our appreciation to all honorable guests and participants of International Model United Nations Conference. 2020 has become a challenging year for people from all countries around the world. For the first time, we faced something that required patience, mutual assistance, and desire to quickly return to a life where we could meet, spend time together, and make plans for the future. And today, we are taking the first steps to construct our vision in post-COVID time. This year is very remarkable for our university. This is the year of our 18th anniversary. And our common goal is to live this year by holding events that future generations will remember. We would like to start this celebration with Model United Nations, in which our distinguished guests, chairs, and participants are taking part today. We are very grateful and glad to see here Mr. Ruslan Malikovich, the Deputy Head of the Representative Office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Almaty. We are pleased to welcome you at one of the oldest universities, the Republic of Kazakhstan, which mission is closely related to the development of foreign affairs specialists. In the 18th anniversary, Kazakh Ablayhan University staff is particularly proud that the first embassies and consulates of the independent Kazakhstan were represented by our graduates. The world is changing rapidly. We are witnessing increasing new challenges and opportunities. In this case, the United Nations, as a universal forum endowed with unique legitimacy, provides global ideas and decisions through the world. Our university has been collaborating with the United Nations for many years and importing its main ideas into the students' environment through conferences, UN models, and joint efforts in achieving sustainable development goals. It's our pleasure to welcome here Mr. Vlastimil Samek, the representative of Global Communication Department of the UN office in Almaty. We are honored to welcome today Mr. Anand Krishna that have told us a lot of very interesting things. He is the Public Affairs Officer of the U.S. Consulate General in Almaty. Our university cooperates with American Corner and Central Asia Universities Partnership Program, UNICEN. We are also an active participants of the Fulbright program and the part of the professor's invitation. We look forward to further fruitful cooperation and thank you very much for very interesting information that you have told us today. 3 committees today will be supervised by distinguished chairs whose practical experience is very important and useful for delegates. We are very grateful for participating in our UN model of Kayot Kalikov, the founder of Westminster Academy in Republic of Uzbekistan, graduate of Commercial Law Faculty at Westminster International University in Tashkent. We are also glad to see today our honorable chair from the United Kingdom, Maria Papageorgiou, who is a visiting scholar at Newcastle University, PhD candidate in International Relations at University of Minho, Portugal. We are very grateful for support and participation as a chair, Eldenis Guseynov Afganoglu, graduate of International Relations Faculty of Kazakh German University, Almaty. Dear delegates, the Model United Nations Conference expands your knowledge about global issues because it obligates every participant to understand them and contribute to solve problems that affect our planet today. Dear participants, you get the opportunity to think critically, make decisions, realize the national interests of your countries and be able to defend them. So thank you very much, all of you, for your interest in this conference. Good luck and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tatiana Vladimirovna. Now, we would like to give the floor to the Deputy Head of Almaty Representative Office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Mr. Ruslan Malikovich. Please, floor is yours. Ruslan Malikovich, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm not sure if my camera is on.
It is turned off. Oh, yeah, now we can see you.
Yeah. Okay. Құрметті ханымдар мен мырзалар, dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me welcome all the participants of the Model UN on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This year we celebrate such significant events as the 30th anniversary of independence of the Republic of Kazakhstan and the 80th anniversary of the Kazakh Ablai Khan University of International Relations and World Languages. However, the current year also marked by such complex challenges facing the world community as serious consequences of the global COVID-19 pandemic, both political and socio-economic. The global pandemic has exposed as well as acted as an accelerator the many existing problems, the lack of medical equipment and drugs, the fragility of logistic chains, unequal access to social benefits, and many others. Also, this requires coordinated actions of the world community. Government of Kazakhstan has developed a package of anti-crisis measures in a short time, including fiscal relief for the affected sectors of economy, the creation of stabilization fund for the most popular medicines, as well as targeted financial assistance to socially vulnerable segments of the population. Like many countries, Kazakhstan is developing several of its coronavirus vaccines. According to the preliminary data, the final stage of testing of some of them will fall on April or May of this year. In case of positive performance indicators, our country will be ready to share its development. However, according to the World Health Organization, the so-called population immunity will not occur till 2/3 of the world's population is vaccinated. Given that today 3/4 of those vaccinated are residents of developed countries, it is not realistic to hope for population immunity on a global scale in the near future. The pandemic also had a huge impact on education. In the context of the pandemic and closed borders, the learning process has largely moved to an online format, and digitalization has played a leading role in this. Of course, this transition was not without certain difficulties. Within the frameworks of the state program Digital Kazakhstan, remote villages of the country were provided with high-quality internet connection for uninterrupted education of children and university students. At the same time, the challenges that have arisen the pandemic allows us to take advantage of the situation and give impetus to sustainable development and green technologies in the context of the global economic recovery. Just a few days ago, the head of state, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, ordered to develop a new law on renewable and alternative energy sources, which will create prerequisites for their wider application. I'm sure that the participants of the Model UN will also provide constructive ideas and proposal for the sustainable restoration of global peace and harmony. And I would like to wish you all good health and well-being to your families. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ruslan Malikovic, for joining us today. It's a big honor for us. So now the floor is given to the representative of the United Nations Global Communications Department in Almaty, Mr. Vlastimil Samek.
Yes, very good morning to everyone. I hope you can see me. I'm not actually addressing you, the distinguished delegates and honorable guests from a traditional setup of the office, as I'm on the way from the airport. So just I didn't want to miss this wonderful event. And I just stopped the car and I'm standing in the park and talking to you. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants and also the speakers, participants for the courage and commitment to address the pressing issues of our, I would say, sustainably developing, I hope, world. And the speakers for wonderful speeches, which definitely I've been listening to with a great interest, and they were definitely inspiring. At the same moment, I would say that many actually remarks, advices, reflections have actually also been in line with what I was actually planning to say. So it's perhaps not the best idea to repeat, but let me just first of all officially convey the best regards and warm greetings on behalf of the United Nations Resident Coordinator in the Republic of Kazakhstan, Ms. Mikhaila Freebeck-Story. She asked me to do it on her behalf, so please be assured that the United Nations country team here in Kazakhstan is absolutely committed to support you in all your noble endeavors, and also on behalf of the United Nations Department of Global Communications, because there is one more important thing behind the meeting and the conference you're actually having today, and that's the accuracy of the information you are sharing. Let's not forget that specifically the time of COVID-19 has affected the world with the, let's say, inaccurate data and information that are being shared via social media. And this is something what I think you should also consider during your discussions. How important is the fact check? How important for the benefit of the humankind is the accuracy of shared information? It's related to COVID-19. It's related to the pandemic as such. It's also related to the recent development in respect of the available vaccines. But it's in principle affecting all, I would say, parts of the life of human beings. I do hope that taking into account the complexity of the issues you are going to discuss, because we have 17 development goals, but it's not about only the sustainable development goals. It's about the world we live in, about the future, about the message and I would say the determination of you as a young generation to live in much better world. I hope that today's conference will really be not only a platform to discuss, but most importantly, to address these issues and offer a new views, new solutions, new suggestions for what we all would be truly grateful. At the end, perhaps let me share you with quite an interesting quote which I still remember, and I'm usually using when addressing the gatherings of the youth. There was some time ago a climate change conference of the young people in Bonn in Germany, and they were asked, "What would you prefer about the conferences when the speakers actually address you?" And the message was, no fancy dresses, no long speeches. So you see, I'm dressed quite normally, and I had I hope, not a very long speech. So good luck to all of you. I'm really impressed and excited, and I wish that all of you are equally impressed and excited with the conference. Good luck, and I'm really very grateful for all of you gathering today. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vlastimil Samik. That was a fascinating speech. I really enjoyed it. Thanks. So, dear delegates, this year, Kazakh Ablayhan University celebrates its 80th anniversary. We would like to take this opportunity to congratulate our university, as well as highlight some of the important moments.
We received skills for future specialists and many opportunities to develop ourselves from all sides, faith and take responsibility.
2 years ago, on the UN Day at our university, Model United Nations Club was opened. Since that time, this club played one of the important roles in our growing up as future specialists, developing our hard and soft skills. Today, Club united all of us. We are people from different continents with the single interest to contribute in making this world better.
We are grateful to the founders of MUN Club and administration of Kazakh Ablayhan University who provided all the necessary staff for today's conference. We wish the university further prosperity and a lot of talented and motivated students. Happy 80th anniversary, Kazakh Ablayhan University.
Yoo-hoo! So, dear delegates, as you all know, COVID-19 caused social and economic disruption all around the world. This pandemic has affected all of us, shaping drastically our everyday lifestyle, from offline to online. And so now, with great honor, we announce the beginning of this conference dedicated to the topic, Building Back Better in a Post-COVID-19 World. So, yeah!
Dear friends, now your support is crucial. Your voice and use can highlight the specifics of the United Nations mission. As leaders of the future, you can come up with initiative approaches to help confront the challenges facing the global community.
Your decisions will have momentous consequences. You have the power to chart a safer, more sustainable and